21 years.
21 years now? So you engaged for 21 years, is that what you saying? How long? 3 years now? Sister just collecting bodies, you know. That brother spitting games with you. If you're together 21 years, you should have been a wife by now. You feel me? Give me Genesis 3:60. That ain't too miserable. You should know that in 21 years, sister. 21 years to figure out these too miserable? Nah.
But fornication.
One of the big sins in the black community system is fornication.
Right. Let me cut you. The reason why I am right? Because when I come into this life, God never liked black girls.
You said he never liked black girls? But you stuck with him for 21 years?
He ended up stuck with me. So I tell him to go away. I love my niggers. I love my niggers. I love my niggers.
Wow. I dropped this mic. Sister, wait a minute. Damn. Read up for me.
Book of 1 Samuel chapter 25 verse 23.
Submit.
And when Abigail saw David, she hasted and lighted off the ass.
Abigail, when she saw King David, she jumped off the donkey
and fell before David.
What did she do?
And fell before David.
You thought she had a problem with her legs or her knees was giving out? No. She fell before David in what?
On her face and bowed herself to the ground.
Wait a minute. We got a righteous sister in the Bible that bowed herself to a righteous man.
That's right.
What is that called, sister? Being respectful.
Right.
So when your husband come home, how should you greet him, sister? Let me see an example real quick. You talking about you engaged and you want to get married? Give me an example of how you...
I don't want to marry him anymore.
Wow! Well, you know what, sister? Buy a dog.
Wait, he's still what? He's still what?
He's still what, sister? Let me get that out of you.
He's like...
Control it.
Control.
Submit.
The man that you're engaged to is to control. You know women translate control into? I don't want to submit to a black man. That's what it translated to. Is he beating you?
I wasn't working, right?
And he took care of you?
And he took care of me, but he never used to want me to go
Uh-huh.
out.
So, sister,
That's why I didn't find a job.
hold on. Men and women are different logical, right? Let me give an example. Now we're going to deal with...
Submit.
We don't want you to go out. Let's say the two of you all have a baby, your son. The son, I'm saying hypothetically, right? Futuristic. Let's say the two of you all have a son. Your son is in the walker, but he accidentally falls. Or he's on a bicycle or something and he falls down. What's the woman's first response? Pick him up and do what? Take him to the doctor, kiss his leg and all that stuff. Right now, hold on, watch this, sister. What is the man's first response now? No, the man's going to say, son, get the hell up and go right in again. That's what men are. You see, you got to be taught about men. Men is going to say, son, pick it up. There's many more like that to come. Pick it up and keep moving. In other words, women are nurturers. Men instill discipline. So now, the reason why what's it, fiance, what's it called? Fiance? The reason why the fiance is saying he doesn't want you to go out, what's outside there in the streets? What do men look at you for? Look at that wonderful sister, want to have a decent friendship with her. You think men think like that? The brother is trying to protect his future wife. That's why I say you don't go out all there, because there's a lot of sharks in the streets. So if you go out there, sister, brother's going to say, you know what, sister? I can compliment you better than your fiancé. I drive a better car than him. I look more handsome than him. Can you be mine? So the brother is putting preventative measures in place so that you can be his and his only. That's how men are. But women, no one's going to look at that and say he's too controlling. So sister, that's a problem right there. The man is not too controlling, the man is looking out for you. 21 years now? So you engaged for 21 years, is that what you're saying? How long? 3 years now? Sister just collecting bodies, you know. That brother spitting games with you. If you're together 21 years, you should have been a wife by now. You feel me? Give me Genesis 3:60. That ain't too miserable. You should know that in 21 years, sister. 21 years to figure out these too miserable? Nah. Read this to me for the sister right here. Genesis 3:16.
Bring it up. Genesis chapter 3 verse 16. Unto the woman he said.
Unto the woman, this is what God says.
I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children. And thy desire.
And the woman's desire, read it for it again.
And thy desire
And the woman's desire,
shall be to thy husband.
your desire should be to your husband. Not what the woman was saying earlier, but I'm going to feed the pastor first. Her desire is to the pastor, not her husband. Her desire
Shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
and he shall control thee. That's in the Bible. When it says rule over thee, is that talking about in rigor? No. Rule over you in righteousness. Sister.
That's right.
Rule over you in righteousness. The man is going to look out for you. The man is going to provide for you. Give me that example in 1 Timothy 5 and verse 8. He shall rule over you. He shall control you. He shall dictate your life. Because the man is better at decision making than the women. Women are emotional, men are more disciplined. Read what you got. 1 Timothy 5 and 8. Watch this.
Book of 1 Timothy chapter 5 verse 8.
Last verses, so listen good.
But if any provide not for his own,
If any man doesn't do what?
provide not for his own.
Because you got to prove a man. You got to find out if this brother's agenda is to take care of me as a wife. I guess some brothers want to live off a woman, you know that. If you get a better job than him, you making 3 times his salary, you know that. You can bluff you and say, buy a car for me and all these type of things. Brothers, there's some brothers with that mindset out here. Read the statement again. Give me Sirach 23 and 25. Hold on, sister, let me get this verse. I will answer that question. Sirach chapter 23 and verse 25. Maintain the cause. Let me see it. 23, 25, that's it, right? One of your brothers find out for me real quick. Maintain the cause. Sirach 23 or 25. Go back to 1 Timothy 5 and verse 8. I think it's 23, 22, you know.
Book of 1 Timothy chapter 5 and 8. But if any provide not for his own,
God says if any don't provide for his own,
and especially for those of his own house,
especially for the ones of his own household. Because you know how many kids don't see their fathers? You know how many fathers aren't taking care of their children? They're what we call in society sperm donors. I've heard children say, in all my life I've seen my father about 3 times. You know what you call that father? A failed father.
Right.
You should be in your children's life. A father should do that. God says if any don't provide for his household, ensure your kids go off to school, pay for their tuition, do they have clothing? Who is feeding them? Is another man feeding them? Who's taking care of your kids? That's the responsibility of a father. I'm telling you, there's some men that don't think like that. Right. We're going to read it. Read up. You got it for me now, right?
a woman, if
Read what you got to quote it.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 25 verse 22, a woman, if she maintaineth her husband,
A woman, sister, if she does what?
maintain her husband,
A lot of women is being the breadwinners. A lot of women are maintaining their husband, and that's not how it's supposed to be. A woman, if she maintains her husband,
is full of anger.
she's full of what?
Anger.
You know why the average black woman is full of anger and frustration? She's always mad, she's always aggressive, she's never pleasant. You can see it in her face. Her face is always rude. There's no smile on her face. You know why? Because she's in a role that she ain't supposed to be. She's fending for everybody. She got to take care of herself and about 3 kids, because why? The man gone. So she's always full of anger. What was she doing? What was the mistake she made?
If a woman, if she maintaineth her husband,
The mistake is she's maintaining a broke, low-life Negro. She's minding him, in other words. He's lying on the corner with a hot Guinness in his hand, pants sagging and a vest on, and she take care of him. She working hard. You know what I mean? Read.
is full of anger,
God says he is full of anger. She's full of anger,
impudence,
full of impudence,
and much reproach.
and there's much reproach in her. She's never pleasant. You understand that? So what are we teaching the women? Prove a man, sister. 21 years together, you've been collecting body, sister. That man running circles around you. The 3rd year might turn into the 4th year, sister. You understand that? So what you got to do then? How you going to get the man to marry you?
You want to marry me, but I tell you that.
What the hell? The man want to marry you, but you tell him, why are you saying that? I gotta examine the brain of the woman, man. The man is too miserable. He's a big man, so he's miserable now. How do you curb that? Well, as you get older, you get miserable, man. That's natural. So he's old and he's miserable. Is there a potential for you to get a brother that's not so miserable?
No, I'll stick with
You gonna stick with him?
Yeah.
Well, marry the man.
Right.
You just said you put off the wedding.
Yeah, put it up.
What? Wait a minute. You said you're gonna stick with him, but you don't want to marry him. That don't make sense, my sister. So let me ask you this question then. Obviously, y'all doing things then. Not with me right now. Give me that in Ephesians 5, sister. Give me Ephesians 5, sister, because guess what? We gotta stop this sleeping around, you know. Huh? Nah, I ain't gonna bring all the stuff out of the mic, man. Give me Ephesians 5, real quick.
Book of Ephesians chapter 5 verse 22. Verse 3. But fornication.
What is God talking about?
But fornication.
One of the big sins in the black community system is fornication.
Let me cut you. The reason
Cut
why
me,
I
you hear
want
that?
marriage, right? Because when I come into this life, towards never like that.
You said you never liked black girls? But you stuck with him for 21 years?
He ended up stalking with me. So I tell him to go away.
So-
I love my niggers. That's straight up.
I drop this mic. Sister, wait a minute. Damn.
It take like 6 years before we can put his mom.
To introduce you to his mom. Court and all that type of
So
stuff.
when he put mom now, like, mom became the son.
Alright, listen to the law, sister. Listen to the law. The law is what's gonna fix the community. Not this God's speech, you know. Read the law again.
But fornication.
One of the biggest sins amongst our people is fornication. The average woman ain't a virgin. I'm telling you that. The average woman is not. If I stop 10 women on the streets, 10 out of 10 ain't virgins. Imagine that 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I ain't even sparing one. 10 out of 10 ain't virgin, sister. Read again.
But fornication and all uncleanness or covetousness, let it not be once named among you, as becometh saints.
Give me 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 9. So now, in becoming a so-called Christian woman and living for God and all these things that women say, you gotta stop the whorish lifestyle. You gotta stop sleeping from man to man, because all the sisters doing is collecting bodies. When a sister has multiple sex partner, her value goes down.
Right.
Because men treasure purity. Why do you think when a brother gets with you, what's one of the questions he asks? Hey sister, tell me a little about your past. What brother you sleep with? You know why that's important to him? Because he don't want to be dealing with a sister that had much bodies on her.
Right.
You think you want to walk the street and a brother say, hey, that's your wife? I didn't know that. Yeah, she had a thing going on. You know how shame that man would feel? You know how embarrassed that man would feel? That's why brothers push to get virgins.
I can't walk with him anywhere.
You proud? Okay, sister. Because you've been dealing with one brother. But guess what? You got to marry that one brother, though.
That's
You
right.
got to marry that one brother. There's no such thing as sleeping around, sister. Read again. Give me 1 Corinthians 6 and 9 for the sister real quick. Read that.
Book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 9. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God?
A lot of people claim that they're righteous, but God says the unrighteous ain't making the kingdom. Know ye not that the unrighteous is not making the kingdom of heaven? Christ is going to be back to establish a kingdom on this earth. Unrighteous people ain't making it. What's some form of unrighteousness? Living in fornication, living in uncleanness, living in covetousness. God says those spirits ain't going to make it into the kingdom. Read again.
Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God? Be not deceived, neither fornicators.
You know why it says be not deceived? Because the pastor going to gas you up and say nothing is wrong with how you living, you know. A pastor would see two couples sexing around the place and say, y'all take your time to get married, take your time. The pastor ain't going to rush the process. And he's encouraging whorish behaviors in your church.
Right.
He christening babies and all these things on 4th Sunday. And when you ask the pastor, this baby that you christening, is the parents married? Nah, but they're just doing it. That's messed up, sister. So the pastors are deceiving the people. That's why it says be not what?
Be not deceived.
Don't think if you live like that, you're going to make the kingdom. Be not deceived, sister. Read again. Be not.
Be not deceived.
You want to know where you come from, sister? Stick around. Where this verse, then you're going to know where you come from. Read.
Be not deceived, neither fornicators.
Here we got the word again, sister. Be not deceived, neither what?
Neither fornicators.
Neither the ones living in fornication. Fornication ain't just sex outside of marriage, you know. You got lesbians in today's society now. You got women grinding on each other in society. You got men playing sword fights. You got homosexuals in society. Hell, you got bestiality going on right now. You got men sexing fowls and these things and goat. You understand, sister? Those are different forms of fornication. Another form of fornication is stepping out on your husband. You're married, but you say, this is my childhood boyfriend and we don't meet up back after a long time. And you have sex with him. God says that's another form of fornication. Give me Sirach 23 and verse 19. Guys, you got a flyer, sister? You got a flyer? You got a flyer? The information? And the back, get a contact number, sister. If you're serious, reach out to us, sister. I make it right, sister. Make it right with the man.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is